Hi, this is Astrologer DK Brainerd, here with your exclusive Empower Radio forecast for the month of November. How's the energy of November going to affect you? That's what we're going to talk about. First, let's look at the full moon in Taurus that arrives on November 2nd. Taurus is an earthy, sensual sign. Taurians love good food, good sex, good music, being out in nature, and usually the moon delights to be in Taurus. But at this full moon, the moon opposes the Sun and Mercury in moody Scorpio, and also squares Jupiter and Mars. This sets up a geometrical pattern known as a grand cross. And whenever we have a grand cross going on, we tend to feel like we're being pulled in four directions at once. So plan to take it easy at this full moon. If you're trying to watch your waistband, make sure you give away all that Halloween candy on Halloween, or you might be running to that little orange pumpkin in search of a little security. Instead, have a good healthy meal, listen to some good music, and I'll let your imagination fill in the rest of what might be a great way to spend this Taurus full moon energy. Okay, there are a couple patterns happening in November that affect all of us, no matter what sign we're in. The first is Saturn's move from Virgo into Leo. This happened on October 29th and will be in this pattern for approximately 3 years. Now, Libra is a cardinal sign. The other cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn, and the cardinal signs are going to tend to feel this energy the most intensely, at least at the beginning of this cycle. Cardinal signs initiate action. They're the go-getters of the zodiac. And as Saturn moves into the cardinal realm, Saturn is going to bring his lessons of responsibility, Saturn's known as the teacher planet, into these cardinal signs awareness first. I think you're actually going to experience this as a good shift if you're an Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, or Libra. Because for the last 2.5 years, Saturn has been operating in the subterranean zone of your psyche, sort of nagging at you, but you're never quite able to pin down, what Saturn wants of you. Now Saturn's going to be out in the open. You'll know what your responsibilities are. You'll know what the lessons are that you need to learn in order to grow to the next level of status, success, power, money, all things that Saturn has dominion over in astrology. Now, all of us are going to be feeling the Saturn-Pluto square, which comes into effect immediately at the start of the month and is exact right before the new moon in Scorpio on November 16th. Saturn-Pluto astrology is very intense, and we are going through one of the most intense transitional periods in the history of our species. This period between now and 2023, and the Saturn-Pluto square is going to really accelerate this, is going to change the way we see ourselves, the way we do business, the way we live as a species, every bit as much as the American Revolution and the Industrial Revolution back in the late 1700s. So this is definitely fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight astrology. But really the worst thing we could do is to hold on tight. Pluto is the archetype of death and rebirth, of intense power drives, major evolutionary shifts, and Pluto asks us to let go of the concerns of the personal ego and really tune into what is the best thing that I can do with my life for the highest good of all. So what we're really trying to learn now is to be the change that we want to see in society, as Gandhi said. Fortunately, another major energy shift this month is Jupiter in Aquarius. Now, Jupiter's been in Aquarius all year long, but he's been retrograde for most of the last 4 to 5 months. Jupiter's now in Aquarius, in direct motion, moving with strength and power, and Jupiter represents expansion, abundance, generosity, and good fortune. Aquarius is the sign of enlightened thinking, of the ideal society, of a progressive, out-of-the-box approach to life. Jupiter in Aquarius can help us to find out-of-the-box solutions, radical new ways of looking at life that we just couldn't see before. But in order to do this, we need to connect to the members of our soul tribe, Aquarius. We need to get in touch with and really commune with and communicate with the members of our soul tribe, the other people of like mind. So, what can we do to take advantage of this astrology and minimize some of those Saturn-Pluto challenges? Number one, turn off the television. Television is hypnotically designed to sell you products that you don't need. It's designed, especially the TV news, to create the sense of fear that paralyzes you, that makes you feel like there's no sense in trying because it's hopeless anyway. Well, it's not hopeless. but we need to get tuned into positive media streams, things like Empower Radio, spiritual, uplifting, metaphysical books, and other positive media. And then we also need to get out of our isolation, get out of our caves, and connect with people of like mind. 3 words to take advantage of this wonderful Jupiter energy in November: connect, connect, connect. There's so much more happening in November. I'd like to tell you all about it, but we're out of time for now. So let me remind you to sign up for the Empower Radio newsletter, and you'll get my detailed weekly horoscopes directly in your inbox every Monday. Also, don't miss Stars for the People, my weekly astrology show here on Empower Radio, where we'll go into much more depth of what we've talked about today and much, much more. Until next time, this is astrologer D.K. Brainerd saying, may you go with the stars. Be well.